I recently read I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi. If you spend extravagantly on 3 to 5 things you love and ruthlessly cut costs on the things you don't, you will feel rich. For some, splurging on high-end gym clothes, a membership at a really nice gym, and a few expensive in-person exercise classes a month makes them feel richer than living in a really nice apartment. Ramit Sethi's friend found that spending thousands of dollars on camping and mountain biking made him feel rich, so he downsized and moved into a smaller apartment to free up money for what mattered to him. Whatever your 3 to 5 things are, embrace them. Be unapologetically different. If someone thinks it's ridiculous to spend what you spend on the few things or experiences you value most, that's their problem. Some people would surely think that spending $400 on headphones or over $100 in new books each month is excessive and unnecessary. And they're right. It's excessive and unnecessary for them, but not me. I feel richer having these things than I would driving around town in a new Tesla. Once you identify the 3 to 5 things or experiences you want to spend extravagantly on, reframe your frugality in all other areas as a positive quality by stating, I am frugal with X so that I can freely spend on Y. So for example, I'm frugal at restaurants and bars so I can freely spend on live performances. I'm frugal with cable TV and streaming so I can freely spend on VIP service at the movie theater. I'm frugal with hotels so I can freely spend on experiences when I travel. Take a few minutes after this summary to write down a few frugal with X so that I can freely spend on Y statements to give you more clarity on what matters to you so you can be a more conscious consumer. Now, you might be thinking that if I spend extravagantly, I'll blow all my money and won't have enough to save and invest. Well, not usually. It's paradoxical, but by allowing yourself to spend freely in a select few areas you truly value, you tend to save more in general because you don't feel deprived and therefore don't have the urge to constantly buy unnecessary things just to feel better. It's like going to the grocery store on a full stomach and not being tempted by the fresh pastries in the bakery or the sugary food at the checkout counter. It's also important to note that spending extravagantly on your 3 to 5 things and experiences does not mean you have an unlimited budget in those areas. Extravagant spending means spending freely within a framework that lets you feel like you can enjoy the things you love guilt-free and without being reckless. Here are 3 spending frameworks I found to be immensely helpful. 1. Start cheap and end high-end. This framework will allow you to spend freely over time once you've proven to yourself that you get immense value from the thing you want. When I wanted to learn guitar, I started with an old $20 guitar I bought from my friend and only allowed myself to upgrade when I proved to myself that I would consistently play it for the next 30 days. After 30 days, I upgraded to a $120 used guitar that felt like a $1,000 guitar compared to the old beat-up guitar I was using. I did the same thing with golf equipment. I started with a terrible set of clubs to gauge my interest. After a year of sustained interest, I bought a set of clubs on sale. Now that I'm obsessed with golf and play as often as I can, I allow myself to buy custom-fitted clubs. Whenever I get those clubs out of my car or pull my driver out of my bag on the golf course, I feel as rich as Tiger Woods. Spending framework number 2, the envelope system. Each month, withdraw a predetermined amount of cash from your bank account and place it in envelopes for each thing or experience you want to spend extravagantly on. You could also load prepaid debit cards or Visa gift cards. Then, you're allowed to go wild and spend freely. But once the money is gone, you're done spending in that category until the next month. Spending framework number 3, the 7-day rule. When you want to buy something in your extravagant spending domain, write an email that will bounce back to your inbox in 7 days describing what you want to buy and how badly you want it. When you receive the email 7 days later, ask yourself, is it still worth the money? Do I still want it as much as I did 7 days ago? If not, pass on the purchase. Because if you're less enthusiastic 7 days later, you won't care about it 30 days from now. If you tried cutting costs and putting in these frameworks, but still feel like you don't have enough money to live a rich life, Ramit suggests you cut costs to about 85% of optimal, and then go on offense and negotiate more money into your life. If you're about to start a new job, or are open to finding a new job, you have a great opportunity to negotiate a 5 to 10% salary increase with a small amount of effort, and quickly earn yourself a few $1,000s in additional spending power if you come into a negotiation with the right mindset and tactics. First, go into a negotiation with a job offer from a different company. Doesn't matter what the company is, because you don't have to tell anyone who the offer is from and what the offer is for. You just say, I have another offer and I'm looking for a higher salary. If you do happen to have an offer from a rival who pays a lot, then it might be useful to mention who they are so the two companies get in a heated bidding war over you. Next, practice negotiating with your toughest friend acting as the hiring manager and record the negotiation to spot where you could improve. Then, come up with a plan to demonstrate how you'll contribute to the company's success. Do some upfront research to find a few projects you're working on or might be working on. Then describe how you can become a critical resource on those projects. When they know you'll bring in more value, they will pay you more. And lastly, whatever happens during a negotiation, remember to keep the conversation cooperative and not combative. Your tone, demeanor, and language should all communicate, I'm excited to work with you and bring a lot of value to this team, but I'm a very valuable employee, and I want to make sure my compensation is fair. Now, if the negotiation doesn't go as planned, or you're not looking to get a new job, here's exactly how you can negotiate a big raise in 6 months. First, arrange a meeting with your boss where you say, what would be the 3 most impactful things I could do to become a top performer? Use a response to create 3 goals for the next 6 months. Then say, if I hit these 3 goals, would you peg me as a top performer? They'll probably say yes. Then conclude by saying, if I do an extraordinary job, I'd like to sit down to discuss a possible compensation adjustment, but we can address that topic when the time comes. Sound good? Follow up the meeting with an email that states your 6-month goals and immediately get to work trying to exceed those goals. 5 months later, email your boss saying that you'd like to set up a meeting to discuss your recent performance and discuss compensation. If a coworker is willing, have them send your boss an email discussing your contribution on a recent project. Then when you get that meeting, come in prepared with your initial email of goals, a list of your accomplishments, a desired salary, and a list of comparable salaries from salary.com. Don't be afraid to stand your ground even if there's pushback. You're not asking for a favor. You're discussing fair compensation as a professional. If you consistently exceed expectations and are willing to negotiate, you can't help but earn more money. And if you mercilessly cut costs on the things you don't love, you will make more than enough money to invest 10% of your income, save 10%, and have plenty left over to spend extravagantly on the things you love, which will make you feel rich. That was the core message that I gathered from I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi. This book both makes you rethink finance and simplifies finance. I highly recommend it. If you would like a 1-page PDF summary of insights that I gathered from this book, just click the link below and I'll be happy to email it to you. If you already subscribe to the free Productivity Game email newsletter, this PDF is sitting in your inbox. If you like this video, please share it. And as always, thanks for watching and have yourself a productive week.